Good day, everybody. My memory is not the best these days, so I have to walk with a lot of paper. I did not prepare any presentation as such, no slides, etc. There's just one slide I wanted to put up there. But before we go any further, my good friend here and from the Republic Bank knows that I can't possibly sit on the board of a bank and still owe the bank money. That is overdue. Now, that's the first thing. The next thing is that there is a trend in Barbados which is developing and has developed in the last 10 years. It's got worse and worse, where people believe that they can take goods from companies and suppliers and not pay for them. They believe they can borrow money from banks and not repay the loans. This is a very serious trend that is developing in this country and it needs to be stopped. So before I go any further with my thoughts about this big idea, we need to get our act together generally across the board in Barbados and understand that you have to honor your commitments and do things the right way rather than take a lot of shortcuts and believe that you can fool the public forever. Now, it was very interesting. Your idea is very, very interesting to me. But there are things, you mentioned a bunch of things like the labor practices and so on. That's a serious, serious problem. I happen to be on the board of the Barbados Port Authority. When I was appointed there by Mr. Barrow, who was the then Prime Minister, he actually called our office to speak to me when he got elected. And I heard our receptionist saying, "Oh, so you're the Prime Minister, right? So what else you going to do now? Call yourself God?" I said, who are you speaking to? Some jackass here calling himself the Prime Minister. I said, for goodness sakes, let me speak to him. It was Mr. Barra. He was asking me if I would sit on the board of the port. So that's how it all started. Now, since I didn't expect ever to be sitting on a government thing like that, I thought that I needed to really get active and do things. So the port had no container handling gantry crane at the time. They were depending entirely on tropical shipping to offload everybody's containers with their track crane. Now you could see that the other shipping lines weren't too interested in coming to Barbados because tropical had them by you know what. And so I said, we need to have a container handling gantry crane in the Bridgetown port as soon as possible. So we started the negotiations and so on, and negotiated very hard with the manufacturer of the gantry crane. We had several offers. We brought it down to one, negotiated with them to supply the crane, and 3 years guaranteed maintenance and spare parts. Little did I know that you had to ask permission in Barbados to do these things. I didn't know that. So nobody on the board didn't tell me either. They just watch and say, boy, let me see what's going to happen here now. Anyhow, the crane arrived. Everybody was keen, beautiful crane. We got it erected and it's ready to work. The morning the management called on the drivers to be trained to operate the crane. The union said, stop right there. No, we ain't allowing that. You didn't ask us permission. So we ain't letting you, nobody ain't going to be trained. Now we have got a situation where 3 years of service free, spare parts free, and nobody is going to be trained on that crane, and it's going to stay idle for 3 years, which is what it did. It stayed idle for 3 years until all kinds of bigger minds than mine were able to persuade the union that this thing was necessary for the development of Barbados. So, needless to say, I submitted my resignation, as I should have done, and left the scene. But when they then went to start training people, the crane won't work. Because being there in the salt here now for 3 years. So the port then had to import, pay for new training to come in, new people to maintain it and get it to start working, and all of the spare parts and so on for the next 3 years had to be paid for by us, or the taxpayers of Barbados. So this is I wish you very good luck. And I hope that you will get good cooperation from the Town Planning Authority, which has been holding up 2 projects of mine now for about 10 years. And you can be able to build the island. We would love to help you do it. We actually have plans for 2 islands off the north of the island, mainly for tourism. I'd like to show you the plans if you're interested. But today, I really want to talk about energy. Because as I see it, the developments over the last 10 years worldwide have put the sun belt of this planet into a position where we can now wean ourselves off of the producers of oil, which we don't have any. And I'm not saying that I want to deprive the trainees of the little business with Barbados and so on. But God gave us the sun and the wind. And I can present you with the help of a professor from Germany, working with the University of the West Indies, who has developed a detailed proposal for converting Barbados to 100% renewable energy. And it can be done, and it should be done, and these are, please put up the little chart I asked you for. All right, good. Now, this chart, please remember this. This, Ian, let me know your pointer. Good.
Just press the laser. The one with the red.
The one with the red. All right, good. You, is that working? Huh? Oh, yeah, good. Now, this from 1949, right? This incidentally was after I was born. I was. These graphs here show the approximate cost of producing electricity from various sources. U.S. Bituminous coal, Brent crude, liquefied natural gas, Henry Hub. I don't even know what that one is. But anyhow, this is solar. Now these are the costs of producing energy, right? This is where it was as recently as 2006 in solar. Look how it has come down. What does that tell you? That we have reached a stage where it is we can produce all of our energy without importing oil. We have a great wind regime in Barbados. We have fostered and encouraged a Canadian company to come to Barbados and bring towers to measure the wind regime in various places in the island. Yesterday evening I had a meeting with the guy who is heading up the business in Barbados. He told me that he's been here for 5 years and they have all the wind data to prove that Barbados is an excellent opportunity for generating power from the wind, and he's broke. He asked if we would lend him $25,000 to continue waiting and waiting and waiting on regulations to be put in place to govern the licensing of independent power producers in Barbados. He says his investors in Canada have had enough. They're done with that. They ain't putting another cent in it. Now, there's a whole set of data that has been accumulated by private investment, and we can't move because the regulations are not in place. I was told that he's been informed that the soonest we will see regulations for independent power producers is sometime in 2016. Now the world is galloping ahead. In the developed countries that can afford to generate their power with oil and whatever, they're galloping ahead and taking full advantage of the little bit of sun they have and the little bit of wind they have. Nothing like what we have. Germany is producing over 50% of its energy from these sources. And we in Barbados, we got it all. And we can't get permission to put up a single proper wind turbine. Not even one. Years ago, probably 20 years ago, I got reckless and put up one at BRC factory. Generated electricity for about 5 years. Eventually I had to take it down. I won't go into the details. But it was an old model. It was state of the art then. There have been such tremendous advances in that technology since then that it's unreal. There's just no comparison between the two sets of equipment. And we have tried repeatedly to get permission to build a modern one here. Can't get permission. I don't know what is wrong with Barbados. The Lord gave us a beautiful country. But it seems to me like we are our own worst enemies. We just quagmired into controls. Everybody is looking for an excuse not to do the work they're being paid to do. To run outside as soon as the slightest little thing happens, the air conditioning, say blip, blip, everybody gone outside. You know? We have a situation where we have some buildings and we rent them out for office space. One day, one of the staff, by the way, the people who rent the office space are supposed to carry out their own vermin control. That's normal. We carry out vermin control all around the place. Inside the office, we can't go in there to control their place. They're supposed to carry it out. One of the staff noticed a little mouse. Everybody run outside. Stand up, they ain't coming back to work. You gotta get vermin controls inside. They're supposed to do it, huh? What is wrong with us in Barbados? So I would like to be involved in the total conversion of Barbados from relying on imported oil to producing our own energy from our own natural resources. The problem right now lies in the fact that our utility that I have to work with every day, I have no problem with foreign investment in Barbados. I love to see foreign investment coming into the country. But having come to the country and invested, you cannot expect to then try to exclude Barbadian entrepreneurs like myself and many, many others from getting a little piece of the cheese. Now, the utility has managed to, I use the word ambush or scare the government and the Fair Trading Commission into believing that if they allow us to start generating significant amounts of energy from the sun and the wind, that it's going to destabilize the grid, it's going to cause blackouts, brownouts, all kinds of things. So I think the government forced or cajoled the utility into having a study done to see whether this is true or not. The study was done with General Electric, one of the biggest companies in the world, was commissioned to do the study. The study has been completed many months ago. Has anybody seen it? Nobody has seen it. Because the utility is editing it so that we ignorant people can understand it. Huh? It's a joke. They're editing it to make to delay the inevitable, because they want to be 100%. They want to do it themselves. They want to monopolize the production of power completely. Here it is. We have years ago. We were invited by the then Prime Minister to get involved and rescue some malls from being sold out by the bank. Not this bank, another bank. So we went there boldly, I usual way, gone charging in there, trying to see what we can do, and determined to make a success of this thing. And so when we looked at what could be done, these things got big, huge, big flat roofs, ideal for solar. So we said, well, man, we ain't gonna name this, we can change the name of this thing to the Sky Mall, and we can get all of our power from the sky. Lo and behold, who's telling me so? We only allowed to put 150 kilowatts on the roof. The roof could hold 400 kilowatts. Now explain to me why they're stopping me from putting 400 kilowatts on the roof. I ain't asking nobody for money. We invest in our own money. So why are we being limited to 150 kilowatts? I cannot understand it. The sun is free. We have been able to borrow the money in US dollars at very, very low interest rates from the Americans, who only too glad to help us develop the country. But we are being limited to what we can do. Why? They tell me it might destabilize the grid. But the General Electric study shows clearly that that is not true at all. It's totally wrong. So these are the things that I would like you all to think about, and in your deliberations and you're moving around. Try to get more action and get people to wake up and understand that nobody owes us a living in Barbados. And we are sitting on a gold mine here, and we're not using it. We need to make up our mind to really pester the leaders and make them act and do things to reduce our thing. Because let's face it, if we can convert Barbados to all alternative energy, can you imagine the potential in advertising this country around the world as the greenest island? Added to that, the sun never going to increase in cost. So the fluctuations in oil price will disappear. When the tourism industry, that is our main foreign exchange earner, We'll have a steady supply of economical electricity, which is not going to fluctuate with the oil price. These are so many benefits involved. All of what you referred to, the energy for that port, all of that can come from natural resources. In fact, if you do build the island, I would like to put some wind turbines on it, offshore wind turbines. Yeah, these things are all possible. Let us make sure that we make them happen, please. Thank you very much.